Evening. Let's see who's here. No one. Oh well, never mind. Maybe people think I'm starting at 8, and maybe people think they didn't get the notification, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I hope you're all well. Let's just start with the basics, okay? As usual. I am not a doctor. This is for health and entertainment purposes only, and information only. So anything I say, please do your own research and consult doctors, etc., just for legal reasons. So today's the vitamin C show. I hope you're going to find some important information out of it. I'm certainly going to try and give you lots and lots of information. I mean, there's so much to say about vitamin C. There really is, and I could do a much longer show than what we've scheduled for. I don't know how long we're scheduled for. Maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I'm not sure we'll meet even 2 hours, but who knows? So yeah, that's the formalities out of the way. Enjoy the football. Did you enjoy the football? Have you been watching the football? Have you enjoyed it? I mean, personally, I think we've got two hopes, England, of winning the World Cup. One's called Bob Hope and the other's called No Hope. Just my opinion. So how are you anyway? What did you have for your dinner or tea if you're northern? I had leftover Italian balls, which I made about a week ago. And no, they weren't Italian men's balls. They were my balls, but I didn't eat my balls, if you see what I mean. You know, I made them myself. And they were very nice. They were really nice. Weather seems to have turned. It's getting a bit colder. I've noticed in the last couple of days. I mean, it's been quite mild, hasn't it? But recently the weather's really turned. And it's getting darker and it's getting more gloomy. We're all doomed. We're all doomed. Doomed, I say. So yeah, it can make you feel, can't it? A little bit down, a little bit depressed and things like that, you know. So make sure you're taking your vitamin D, please, you know, just to help yourself. You know, if you're not taking your vitamin D, then, you know, try and get some natural sunlight. Go out for lovely walks, or if you live in a forest, find a nice place where there's not too many trees blocking your natural light. Mr. Dinny, nice to see you in the chat there, sir. So yeah, get your vitamin D and go for some walks to get some natural sunlight as well. You know, I mean, there's not much of it about anyway. We're coming up. We're less than a month away now from the shortest day of the year. I think it's December the 22nd, and then it starts getting light again from the 25th, something like that. December 25th, something like that. So yeah, do, you know, try and stay positive. I know it's not easy this time of year. It really isn't. And take your vitamins. But today we are going to talk about vitamin C, and there's a lot to talk about. I mean, it's such an amazing vitamin. I've put some links in right at the top of the chat. Okay, so, or there, wherever the chat is, I don't know. It's reversed, I suppose. And I put some links in there. Let me just have a look. And I think one's for Linus Pauling Institute, LPI. Now, Linus Pauling, I'll tell you who he was in a minute, or a bit later. You'll just have. Linus Pauling is the vitamin C man. If I'm going to talk about vitamin C, I've got to mention Linus Pauling, because he's just such an amazing man that made us realize how important vitamin C was. Yeah, do check out the LPI, Linus Pauling Institute. I'll talk about him again, like I said, a bit more later. I've recorded a segment. I tested it earlier, and it seemed to be juddering around. So I'm going to try it a little bit of a different way. It's really just to give my voice a bit of a break, and it was just to see whether I could record a segment and then just add it in and see if it works this way. If it doesn't work this way, I'll go back to the other way where I'm doing it live. But I did record a segment, and it was in the daytime, even though I had the curtains shut, just like this, because there was just natural light coming through, and it was a bit too bright. So, but yeah, so that's what I've done. What else have I got to see? Oh yeah, I want to say to you, so as far as foods are concerned, try eating all the foods that are in season. Okay, so any brassica. What's brassica? Brassica is veg. Your green leafy veg. Eat that if you can. Also, when you take your vitamin C, try and get some zinc in your body as well. Take zinc lozenges if you can. They're meant to be very good for you as well, to protect your immune system. What else have I got written here? Eat foods in season. I mean, today I went to my local supermarket. Mine happens to be Morrison's, and I just happened to walk in at the right time, which was around 3:30, something like that. And I got the end of day bargains, or what are going out of out of date bargains. And I was able to get myself some swede. I got myself some carrots, some mushrooms, and some potatoes. And so I mean, there's, again, try and take advantage. Money is too tight to mention at the moment for most people, what with the energy costs and energy bills going up. Try and find your bargains. I found my bargains. I'm going to show you, because we need to worry about the lights going out. Because they keep talking about it. So these were my bargains. Okay, so these, if we have power cuts, I've got a stove that one of these ones where you just plug these canisters in, and I got 4 of these for £4. So I bought 12 of them, and on eBay or something like that, they're £10 for 4 of them. So these were £1 each. So try and find your bargains in the pound stores, and try and be prepared for the possible blackout. Certainly in the UK. I mean, I don't know about anywhere else, but we do need to be aware that it could happen. There's some paperwork out. There was a list of electricity blackouts, even on the government website. Let's just show it to you actually whilst we're talking about it. Let me go back. Hang on. Where am I? There. Right. Let me just share this with you. Share screen. Okay. Let's share the screen and the window. Chrome tab. That one. Share. Okay. So you can see here, this is called the Electricity Supply Emergency Code. So, I mean, this was published in 2019, but basically it goes through all the different, apparently on your bill, you're meant to have a code on the top right-hand corner. I couldn't find mine. I'm still trying to find basically the name or the code of my area. But if I go further down here, it sets out the type of blackouts, I think it is, that could potentially happen. And it's got, there we go, a variable rotational disconnection plan. And it goes through the different, if I just try and make these big, look, just to show you, look. So, for example, these are the different zones and stuff like that, and periods, etc. And so it goes out, it goes through the different days and the time and how long it could go out for potentially. And then it goes, you've got these rota plans. Okay, so you can find, I'll publish this actually. I'm going to click it onto, I'll do it now. And you can see here, for example, there's rota plans for level 1 disconnection, which let's say you're in the Monday one here, and you're in period, and you're in D, I think it is. I think it says here, and A here. So you'll have one there. Then on Wednesday you'll have one at 6, and then on Sunday you'll have one at 1 again. And then as these things go on, the disconnection goes on. Level 2, it starts. You can see the connections start going out more and more to level 3, then level 4, etc., etc. So yeah, it's not good really. I think we could possibly have it happen, but hopefully it won't. But you just never know. Oh look, there I am. I can see myself. So I'm going to post that in here now. And there we go. Yeah. So let me just stop screen sharing. There we go. I'm back again. Yeah. So at the top of the chat here, I've also put down my shop as well, because I can, if you want to buy my salve, I've got my new labels now. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure you probably all do by now, because I go on about it enough. I can't focus on that. There you go. I don't know if it'll focus. No, it won't focus because of. But anyway, it says, yeah, it just says it's CBD healing salve, and it's got essential oils, magnesium oil, coconut oil, CBD, all sorts of good things. And I've had a couple of people from Raconteurs News that have bought it now, and they're getting some really, really good results. So I'm so pleased. I made this product fundamentally for myself and for my family and friends, and then decided that, to offer it to other people. And I'm getting some really positive results back from people. So I'm really happy about it. And yeah, it's even gone to different countries now. So I'm so pleased about that. So that was that. Yeah. And also an announcement, if you didn't know, I'm going to be doing an interview with Jason on Tuesday on Raconteurs News with Clive de Carl, the legend Clive de Carl. Hello, this is Clive de Carl. Hello there. Yeah, I'm going to be doing an interview with Clive de Carl. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be asking him some posing questions. And I've said to Jason, so Jason and I are going to be presenting the show on Tuesday. And I've said to Jason, look, how about you manage the chat and I do, the questions with Clive, etc. And I'll have a load of questions for him. And I'm sure he'll be sharing information with you, with everyone as well. I've posted a link to his shop at the top here as well in the chat. So please, especially to do with vitamin C. So if you fancy some of Clive's products, go and support someone like Clive rather than maybe Amazon or whatever. But yeah, let's go and have a look in the chat and say hello to everyone in the chat. Okay, so first of all, I'd just like to say well done to Jerry, son of Mick. He did the first thumbs up yesterday at 9:51 p.m. when I posted the show. So cheers to that, Jerry. And good evening to Kitty. Good evening to Miss Blue Sky. Good evening to Chris. Good evening to Dinny. And who else have we got here? Kendo. Hello, Kendo, sir. How are you? I do realize that I'm also going to be clashing with the cookie show, so I may lose some people. So, but that's fine. You can watch the show afterwards. Please do so, like we do with other people. And to everyone who's watching that isn't posting anything as well. Hello, shadow, as people call them, shadow watchers, etc. So nice to see you all here, and thank you for anyone who's watching the show back that wasn't here live. Let's have a look. Any news here? People just chatting to themselves here. Yep. Oh, thank you. Miss Blue Sky said, can't wait. You'll be excellent interviewing Clive de Carl, or Carl de Clive even. Really enjoyed your interview with Cultivate Elevate, so I know it will be good. Thank you very much. Oh, Spanish is a shadow watcher. Yeah, you're probably watching me and Cookies or the football. I don't blame you, mate. You know, let me keep us up to date. You can keep us up to date with the football score. I think it's Argentina tonight. I'm not sure actually. Um, so yeah, it'd be please try and watch the Matt Roski interview on my channel on Health Freedom. You know, on this channel, if you click on the live tab or if you go onto the YouTube, you'll see the old link to it. It was a brilliant interview. Matt's so full of information, he really is. So and hopefully I'll be able to interview him again. On that note, I don't know if anyone knows, but I bought some copper and brass gardening tools, and the allotment that I now manage, or can't say I own it, I rent it, is being dug, and a quarter of it has already been dug, and took 2 hours. Me and my partner did it, and we dug for about 2 hours, and I was quite surprised actually, because it didn't normally, after I've dug a garden, it's normally really you're really aching afterwards, and I don't know why, but maybe it's something to do with the copper and the magnetism and all this, because that's what Matt was talking about on the channel. I really genuinely wasn't aching, and again, another plug, because I did put a load of this on before I did it as well, so I think that's also maybe got something to do with it, but you never know. I must tell you a story about that actually. Went to the theatre the other day and saw a brilliant show. I don't know if anyone's watched it, called Blood Brothers, in Aylesbury with my partner, and it was absolutely a great show. I didn't know anything about it. It's been going for years and years. It's an amazing musical. If you get a chance, please go and see it. I highly recommend it. There's nothing like live entertainment. I mean, look at me. I'm here giving live entertainment. Look how entertained you all are. Yes, there we are. But yeah, it was a brilliant show. And here's a little story. So we were sitting there, me and my partner, and we were second row from the front. We thought it would be a bit further back actually. And yeah, there was quite a lot of leg room. Okay. And then there was a couple in front. And then in the break, the couple could see that we'd got some spare seats next to us, some people maybe that hadn't turned up. So what happened was this lady turned around and said, "Would you mind if we sat next to you? Because I've just had a knee operation, and I've got some health problems, you know, with my bones and stuff like that. And I could do with some more leg room." And so we said, yeah, you know, it's not our seats. You sit where you want to sit, really. So they came round and they sat down, and this lady started talking about her health issues, and you know, she'd had quite a few operations and things like that, and I think she had a lot of arthritis and things, and you know, she took a lot of you know, painkillers like paracetamol and ibuprofen and things like that. And I just couldn't help but say, look, you know, do you want to try an alternative? So yeah, I got a sale out of it. And I sent her some salve, and she sent me some money, which was really nice of her. And I've yet to hear from her. Hopefully she's not, you know, passed away by putting it on herself. It was a little joke there. Don't, calm down. No, but so hopefully I'll be able to report back that she's doing really well. I know that someone who bought my salve recently said that they put it on themselves before they went to bed, and they had a lot of sleeping problems, and out of their own mouth, this is what they said. They said in the text, it's the best night's kip they've had in ages. So it just made my day. That did. It was really good to hear that sort of feedback. So yeah. What else do I need to tell you? Oh yeah. Again, talking to Matt Roski from Cultivate Elevate. Please look him up. Cultivate Elevate. healthfreedomuk.com. He said about LED light bulbs. I want to try and tell everyone, honestly, get your LED light bulbs out if you can. It's a sort of light that they haven't tested over 20 years, okay, and it gives out a blue light, and there is paperwork as well, or there's articles and studies done, and one in particular that I saw from an eye doctor that said that these LEDs, and this was an eye specialist professor, and I think he worked in I can't remember the name of the bloody eye hospital, Moorfields in London. As everyone knows, my background is with eyes, and apparently these LEDs are contributing to macular degeneration and also to cataracts. So try and get traditional bulbs back into your lives. It's not easy trying to find them. It really isn't. I found some on eBay, but I would honestly say try and avoid LED bulbs if you can. I know it's not easy, but we don't know what sort of effect they're having on our health. I mean, I know when I'm driving, when my car works, or I'm driving someone else's car, when I'm driving and at night, and you see these cars with the new LED lights, they're blinding. They're really, really blinding, and I just can't stand it. And I think, well, that's also the sort of light that a lot of us are sitting under. So the light I've got now, I've got my SAD lamp, which has got an old traditional light in, and I've changed over my two lights here to 60-watt bulbs, and I've got my lovely lamp here, my Himalayan salt lamp with the proper Himalayan salt in it. There we go. Look, yes, there are a lot of fake ones apparently around, and it's got again an old bulb in it. So I think it creates negative ions when it's heating up. So it's meant to be really good for you. So if I look a bit red, that could be why. What else can I say? Yeah, talk to you about my allotment. Oh, and what else I've been doing? I've been doing a bit of decorating. You can see there, look, that stuff there is decorating stuff there. I can't point to that. Yeah, there, decorating stuff. So I'm starting to decorate. The hall's getting done, the bathroom's getting done, up the stairs is getting done. I'm having to walk the plank. I've got one of these really high ceilings because I live in a flat, and my bedroom is on the second floor effectively. I've got one of these really high ceilings, and so I had to get a ladder and then get by a plank. So you have to walk the plank, and I promised my partner I won't do it unless someone is here assisting me or watching that I don't fall down. So what's been happening? Paula, hello Paula, nice to see you. Welcome Paula. I'm hoping to get Paula. Oh, and Tony, good evening Tony as well. Good evening Totty Hooters. I don't know what that means. So I think he's probably watching a bit of football, Tony, and also he's going to be doing the cookie show as well, I would imagine. I don't know what's going on here. Let's have a look. You flogged yourself, Rob, LOL. Yep, I did. I flogged myself. Spanish, absolutely. No, right, Tony's saying here. And this is another thing from Tony, or non-violent extremist. LED can be used to track you. Well, that's what they're putting, isn't it, Tony? In the lights out in the streets now. They've had all that money to change over to LEDs, and some people say that, like Barry Trower, that Jason's had on the show, they can be used as a weapon. I mean, I'm not specialist enough, but I know that I just don't like the feeling. I don't like the look of the light. I don't like the feel of the light. You know, I'm someone who's very much about go with your gut feeling. So what's this? Dig a Japanese spider hole in your allotment. Please elaborate, Chris. I'd like to know a bit more about that. What I am going to do is I'm going to do some video recording to show you my progress of my allotment. And I am going to do what Matt Roski has suggested, and that is that I've started choosing pieces of wood, and I'm going to put them in my, like I go into the woods and I find like 6 foot pieces of branches, nice straight branches if I can get them. And I just go by my feel, what feels good, and I'm buying copper wire, and I'm going to wrap it round, and I'm going to dig it into the ground and put them all around my allotment, and try and join them as well with some copper wire, and see if we get some positive results from it. And I'm digging with copper and brass instruments, so hopefully that will make some difference as well. Grow friendly triffids. Yeah, why not Spanish? Yeah. So here we go. Tony says electronics company Philips is piloting a system in which LED store lamps track shoppers. The company announced shoppers have to download the store's app first. Once they do, wow. Tony, if you've got a link to that, I'd be really interested to see whether you put it in the show. I think you might be one of my moderators. I'm not sure. But if you have, please post it. And he then goes on to say, every lamp in the store is able to communicate with the shoppers' phones using pulses of light the human eye can't detect. There you go. That just says it. That just says it all. There's only certain rays of light that we can see. That's why they reckon a lot of technology like flying saucers, rather than just saying aliens or anything like that. But let's say hidden technology. Apparently they're in different rays of light, and that's why sometimes you can take a photograph and catch something that's unidentified in the background or whatever, because the camera sees in different rays of light. Just like cats and animals can see infrared, and that's why they pick up things that maybe we can't see. So no, I do not watch footy if England are in the camp. I don't blame you. Aren't they playing dreadful, Tony? Honestly, I watched the footy the other day. Sorry if you're not interested in it, but I watched the footy, and I really don't think that we're going to go very far anyway, Tony. So I wouldn't worry about it. I know you're a Scotsman, and I know there's some healthy rivalry going on there. But I mean, I lost my whole interest in football. I said this before when it went, all to, it's all gone to money now, and also after COVID and stuff like that, and people going down on one knee, So Tony says, Healthfreedom, I posted the link above, but I'll post it in your Telegram. Oh, great. Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see if I can then find, we're going to talk about vitamin C. I'm going to start the recording I did earlier. So please watch it. This is all the information. It's about 16, 17 minutes, something like that. And you'll see the notes that I've made as well. And hopefully, cheers, Tony. It's just come up here that you posted it there. Maybe I can post it in this bit as well. So yeah, I'm going to try and find that. Let's just see if I can, because I tried doing this earlier just to let you know. I recorded a segment, and then I thought, well, I'll send it via. I'll just link it into the StreamYard, and as I tested it, it kept flickering. So I thought, no, bugger that. I can't have that. So what we're going to do is then, let's go, if we go like this then, and then I go, let's try and, okay, so share screen. Okay, share screen. Right, now then let's go to my files here. And okay, so this should hopefully start, and hopefully you'll you'll get to see my presentation. So this is the stuff that I recorded a bit earlier. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about some vitamin C, and then I'll come to you live. This is, so I'm just going to go over the documents that I've put together. I could talk to you a lot about vitamin C. I mean, it could take hours and hours, but and I've probably already said it, but I'm going to say it again, that vitamin C is probably the most essential vitamin that you could actually get in your body out of all of them. And, you know, I could spend hours literally. I've got a book here, look, this, and there. I could spend hours literally. I've got a book here, look, here. Okay. Which is, let me just stop this. I'm just going to stop this and say, Healthfree, your audio was switched to a different mic. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, let me just try and see. So I've got to mute myself maybe. Can you see the video, everyone? Okay. Let me. Could you see that video? Just say if you could or not. 5 times 5. Right. Okay. So I've got to mute myself. Okay. No video. Right. Okay. Hang on. Let me just try that again. Share screen. Okay. Let me just try this window. Da, da, da. Okay, so share. Right, so I'm sharing my screen now. So let's just see. Hang on. Right, I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to go back first. Stop sharing. Right, let me just mute myself. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Okay, I'm back now. Cheers, Tony. I'm back now. How's that? Is that better now? Can everyone see that? Yeah. Okay. I'm back now. I've got sound, and I'm going to present. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. Here we go. Right. Let's share my screen. 5 times 5. I don't know what that means, Tony. I don't know what that means. What, you saying that the audio is too loud? Is my audio okay, everyone? Seems to be not as good this time. Anyone? Anyone want to tell me? Can you all hear me all right? Anyone want to post something? Come on. Audio good. Thank you very much. Cheers. Right. Okay. So let's go back to the file sharing. Okay. Here we go. That one. Okay. Let's just go back. Okay. Good. Share screen. Okay. Here we go. So vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid, has several important functions. These include helping to protect cells and keeping them healthy, maintaining healthy skin, blood vessels, bones and cartilage used to make skin, tendons, ligaments and blood vessels, helping with wound healing, aid in absorption of iron as well. Okay. Lack of vitamin C can lead to scurvy. Scurvy is caused by not having enough vitamin C in your diet for at least 3 months. Vitamin C is mainly found in fruit and vegetables. Even people who do not eat very healthy diets all the time are usually considered at risk of scurvy. Why? What's scurvy? Scurvy came from when we first went over on the boats to America, apparently, and we realized that if we didn't get enough vitamin C, then we would get something called scurvy. So we got the limes, and that's what gave us, and we took limes over, which were packed full of vitamin C, and that's what gave us the names limeys. So 15 signs and symptoms of vitamin C deficiency. The most common risk factors of vitamin C deficiency are poor diet, alcoholism, anorexia, severe mental illness, smoking, and dialysis. Whilst symptoms of severe vitamin C deficiency can take months to develop, there are some subtle signs to watch out for. 1. Rough, bumpy skin. Vitamin C plays a role in collagen production, a protein that is abundant in connective tissue like skin, hair, joints, bones, and blood vessels. And when vitamin C levels are low, a skin condition known as keratosis pilaris can develop. In this condition, bumpy chicken skin forms on the back of the upper arms, thighs, or buttocks due to a buildup of keratin protein inside the pores. I'm sure we've all seen our old folks that have had this sort of thing. Keratosis pilaris caused by vitamin C deficiency typically appears after 3 to 5 months of inadequate intake and resolves with supplementation. However, there are many other potential causes of this condition, so its presence alone is not enough to diagnose a deficiency. Number 2, corkscrew-shaped body hair. Odd, but it's a fact. Vitamin C deficiency can also cause hair to grow in bent or coiled shapes due to defects that develop in the protein structure of hair as it grows. Corkscrew-shaped hair is one of the hallmark signs of vitamin C deficiency, but that may not be obvious, as these damaged hairs are more likely to break off or fall out. Hair abnormalities often resolve within 1 month of treatment with adequate amounts of vitamin C. Number 3, bright red hair follicles. Hair follicles on the surface of the skin contain many tiny blood vessels that supply blood and nutrients to the area. When the body is deficient in vitamin C, these small blood vessels become fragile and break easily, causing small bright red spots to appear around the hair follicles. This is known as perifollicular or perifollicular even hemorrhage, and a well-documented sign of severe vitamin C deficiency. Taking vitamin C supplements typically resolves this symptom within 2 weeks. So you can see, literally, you can get rid of most things once you start, most of these conditions once you start supplementing. Number 4, spoon-shaped fingernails with red spots or lines. Everyone's going now like this now. I've had lines as well before. Spoon-shaped nails are characterized by their concave shape and often thin and brittle. They're more commonly associated with iron deficiency, anemia, but have also been linked to vitamin C deficiency. Red spots or vertical lines in the nail bed, known as splinter hemorrhage, may also appear during vitamin C deficiency due to weakened blood vessels that rupture easily. Whilst the visual appearance of fingernails and toenails may help determine the likelihood of vitamin C deficiency, note that it's not considered diagnostic. Number 5, dry, damaged skin. Healthy skin contains large amounts of vitamin C, especially in the epidermis or outer layer of your skin. Remember, your skin is the biggest organ in your body, so it's important. It's an important role to have enough vitamin C to support this organ. Vitamin C keeps skin healthy by protecting it from oxidative damage caused by the sun and exposure to pollutants like cigarette smoke or the ozone, or if, like me, you believe in chemtrails that no one ever talks about, which I do, but that's just my opinion. It also promotes collagen production, which keeps skin looking plump and youthful, just like mine. High intakes of vitamin C are associated with better skin quality, whilst lower intakes are associated with a 10% increased risk of developing dry, wrinkled skin. While dry, damaged skin can be linked to a vitamin C deficiency, it can also be caused by many other factors. So this symptom alone is not enough to diagnose a deficiency, okay? Easy bruising. Bruising occurs when blood vessels under the skin rupture, causing blood to leak into the surrounding areas. Easy bruising is a common sign of vitamin C deficiency, since poor collagen production causes weak blood vessels. Deficiency-related bruises may cover large areas of the body or appear as small purple dots under the skin. Easy bruising is often one of the first obvious symptoms of a deficiency and should warrant further investigation into vitamin C levels. Again, you see this a lot on older people, not like myself, but yeah. Like people in plus 80s. I mean, I've seen it in my mum as well, but she takes vitamins, I'm glad to say. Number 7, slowly healing wounds. Since vitamin C deficiency slows the rate of collagen formation, it causes wounds to heal more slowly. Research has shown that people with chronic non-healing leg ulcers are significantly more likely to be deficient in vitamin C than those without chronic leg ulcers. In severe cases of vitamin C deficiency, old wounds may even reopen, increasing the risk of infection. Slow wound healing is one of the more advanced signs of deficiency and typically not seen until someone has been deficient for many months. Now, I was in diabetes, and diabetics get their can get diabetic leg ulcers and things like that. And every time I used to try and talk to a patient about whether or not they supplemented, 9 times out of 10 they didn't. 9 times out of 10 people didn't supplement. And again, I'll come back to this thing that people think that maybe you can get enough nutrition from your food. That's all well and good. B, if you maybe grow it yourself. B, if it's grown with as little interference from pesticides as possible. And see whether you buy it organic or whatever, because the lack of nutrients now in food is just absolutely a joke. So therefore, I really am a big believer and advocate of supplementing, especially with vitamin C. Of all the things I think that I want to talk about, or I've talked about, this is really one of the ones you've got to get into your body every day, because it is a water soluble vitamin. So you do lose it out of your body. One thing that most people don't know, we are one of, I think, humans cannot make vitamin C, whereas most animals and stuff can. Like, for example, did you know that a rat can make 10 grams of vitamin C a day? So if times get really hard, anyone for barbecued rat? Then we can get our vitamin C from it. Number 8, painful swollen joints. Since joints contain a lot of collagen-rich connective tissue, they can also be affected by the vitamin C deficiency. There have been many reported cases of joint associated with vitamin C deficiency, often severe enough to cause limping or difficulty walking. Bleeding within the joints can also occur in people who are deficient in vitamin C, causing swelling and additional pain. Yet both of these symptoms can be treated with vitamin C supplements and commonly resolve within 1 week. I will be talking about supplements in a second or a little bit later. Okay, bleeding gums and tooth loss. Red, swollen, bleeding gums are another common sign of vitamin C deficiency. Without adequate vitamin C, gum tissue becomes weakened, inflamed, and blood vessels bleed more easily. In advanced stages of vitamin C deficiency, gums may even appear purple and rotten. Eventually, teeth can fall out due to unhealthy gums and weak dentin, the calcified inner layer of the teeth. Okay, poor immunity. Studies show that vitamin C accumulates inside various types of immune cells to help them combat infection and destroy disease-causing pathogens. Vitamin C deficiency is associated with poor immunity and a high risk of infection, including serious illnesses like pneumonia. In fact, many people with scurvy, a disease caused by the lack of vitamin C, eventually die of infection due to their poorly functioning immune system. Number 12, persistent iron deficiency, anemia. Vitamin C and iron deficiency anemia often occur together. Signs of iron deficiency anemia include paleness, fatigue, trouble breathing during exercise, dry skin and hair, headache, and spoon-shaped fingernails. Low levels of vitamin C may contribute to iron deficiency anemia by reducing the absorption of iron from plant-based foods and negatively affecting iron metabolism. Vitamin C deficiency also increases the risk of excessive bleeding, which can contribute to anemia. If iron deficiency anemia persists for a long time with no obvious causes, it may be wise to check your vitamin C levels. And again, if you're ever worried about anything, go and speak to your doctor, please, or even a pharmacist. I think pharmacists are great as well. Fatigue and poor mood. Two of the earliest signs of vitamin C, and I know people that are suffering from this right now. So again, please, try and get vitamin C into your body. Two of the earliest signs of vitamin C deficiency are fatigue and poor mood. These symptoms can appear even before a full-blown deficiency develop. Whilst fatigue and irritability may be some of the first symptoms to appear, they typically resolve just after a few days of adequate intake or within 24 hours of high-dose supplementation. I'm going to be talking about how much we need to take. Number 14, unexplained weight gain. Vitamin C may help protect against obesity by regulating the release of fat from fat cells, reducing stress hormones and decreasing inflammation. Researchers found a consistent link between low intake of vitamin C and excess body fat, but it's not clear whether it's in a cause and effect relationship. Interestingly, low blood levels of vitamin C may have been linked to higher amounts of belly fat, even in normal weight individuals. Whilst excess body fat alone is not enough to indicate a vitamin C deficiency, it may be worth examining after other factors have been ruled out. And number 15, the last one, chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. Vitamin C is one of the body's most important water-soluble antioxidants. It helps to prevent cellular damaging by neutralizing free radicals that can cause oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Oxidative stress and inflammation have been linked to many chronic illnesses, including heart disease, diabetes, so reducing levels is likely beneficial. Low intakes of vitamin C have been linked to higher levels of inflammation and oxidative stress, as well as an increased risk of heart disease. One study found that adults with the lowest blood levels of vitamin C were nearly 40% more likely to develop heart failure. Let me repeat that because I think it's a really important one. Adults with the lowest blood levels of vitamin C were nearly 40% more likely to develop heart failure within 15 years than those with higher blood levels, even though they were not deficient in vitamin C. Right, I'm going to have a drink and then we're going to talk about some sources of vitamin C. I'm just going to come back to the chat. Let me go here. Where are we? Back here. Okay, so I'm here. Oh, there I am in the bottom corner there. How's everyone doing? Cheers, everyone. I'm just going to have some water. See, this is why I tried to record this segment earlier, so I didn't run out of stuff. Oh, Matt, took my vitamins. Cheers for the reminder. You're welcome, son. I think Matt is my boy. I'm pretty sure he is anyway. Now, so let's have a look. Well done. Let's have a look here. Okay, so let's go back. So Spanish, who is always a bit comical here. Let's look what he's saying here. Look, one rat in a sewer was crying. Another rat said, "What's up, pal?" The upset rat said, "It's shit for your breakfast, shit for your dinner, and shit for your tea." The rat said, "Cheer up, mate. We're on the piss tonight." Oh dear. That goes down as bad jokes for the end of the show. Cheers for that, Spanish. And if anyone doesn't know, he does work in the plumbing. So, and I think he works on outside plumbing as well. Good evening, the Wigan Joker, Mr. James, Mr. Jimmy O. Good evening, lovely to see you, and I blow you a kiss back, sir. Yeah, none of that homosexual stuff. We just got a good vibe going on, baby. Squeeze out those rat juices, says Chris Partridge. Yeah, absolutely. I know it might sound funny, but you just never know, do you? You just never know. Let's have a look. What are the amounts of vitamins should be? What are the amounts of vitamins should be taken? That's where I hesitate. I don't know the dosage on the bag. It says 1 ml, but is that sufficient? Well, I'll talk about that in a second, Tony. I mean, with vitamin C, I would say just take really what. Let me stop sharing this a second. Okay, let's just go back. I would just say, just with vitamin C, I'm going to share this information again, or I've got it written down. Take really what your stomach can take. It depends on the type of vitamin C you're taking. Again, I'm going to talk about that in a second. But really, it's about, if you start getting loose stools or you start getting an upset tummy and stuff like that, then you're probably taking too much. If you take vitamin C as a powder and you mix it in, say, like if you just buy ascorbic acid powder from a health shop, and it's literally ascorbic acid, if you put like a quarter of a teaspoon, that's probably about 1,000 milligrams, something like that. Or if you want to put more in and you want a good amount of vitamin C, say half a teaspoon, about 2,000 milligrams, maybe, you mix it in. If you sip it throughout the day through either a bottle or something, you're slowly getting it into your body and you're absorbing it much better. So that's one way. Okay, so cheers, everyone. Let me go back and see if there's any comments I need to look at. I like this. Now, Kendo's one of our older viewers. The only corkscrew hairs I have are not on my head. That's an interesting one, Tony. You use vitamin C to break down the heroin like a mini vitamin C infusion with a kick. Well, I'm going to talk about intravenous vitamin C as well. So I've tried to cover everything here. Don't sniff it, says Tony has a bag of ascorbic acid. There you go. So there we are. I've given you some ideas there. Good audio. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to go back now. How long have we done so far? Wow, nearly an hour. Sorry about that if I'm boring you. Okay, so let's just go back now to sharing my screen. Share screen, and let's put this up now. Okay, so good sources of vitamin C. Vitamin C is found in a wide variety of fruit and vegetables. Good sources include citrus fruits, as we know, such as oranges and orange juice. I would say lemons and limes as well, which are missing from here. Peppers, strawberries, black currants, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, potatoes. Some of the best food sources of vitamin C per cup include acerola cherry, guava, black currants. I've got loads of black currants that I stored from the summer in my freezer. You can make a juice up with them. And again, natural vitamin C is one of the best things to get if you can get it. Sweet red peppers. I grew sweet red peppers in the garden this year under the polytunnel. Kiwi fruit, lychee. There you go. Lemon, orange, strawberry, papaya, broccoli, and parsley. Okay, so those are just a few that you can get. So how much vitamin C do I need? So the recommended dietary allowance for adults 19 years and older is 90 milligrams daily for men and 75 milligrams for women. For pregnancy and lactation, the amount increases to 85 and 120 daily, respectively. Smoking, which, you know, I've been guilty of, and, you know, everyone's got their habits. If you smoke, it can deplete your vitamin C levels. So I would really highly recommend that if you're a smoker, take vitamin C every day, please. Smoking depletes your vitamin C levels in the body, so an additional 35 milligrams beyond the RDA is suggested for smokers. You should be able to get all your vitamin C you need from your daily diet, but again, I don't believe this. Vitamin C cannot be stored in the body, so you need it because it's a water vitamin. So you need it in your diet every day. Vitamin C rapidly breaks down when exposed to heat. Again, so if you're drinking it, again, sip it because it will start breaking down into your blood system as well. So raw fruits and vegetables are better sources than cooked ones. Since the body does not store large amounts of vitamin C, it is recommended to eat fresh fruits and vegetables every day. And again, supplement. What happens if I take too much vitamin C? Supplementing with vitamin C has not been found to be toxic, but taking more than 2,000 milligrams per day may, I emphasize this, may cause abdominal cramps, diarrhea and nausea, as well as increase the risk of developing kidney stones in men. Okay, taking large amounts of more than 1,000 milligrams per day of vitamin C can cause stomach pain, diarrhea and flatulence. These symptoms should disappear once you stop taking vitamin C supplements. So again, I'd say to you, just balance it out, please. You know, see what your tolerance levels are. You know, someone who's 6'3" like me to compare with someone who's 5 foot, their tolerance levels are going to be very different. So you just need to test it and see. Okay. So in summary, all right, vitamin C deficiency is relatively rare in developed countries, but still affects more than 1 in 20 people. Since humans cannot make vitamin C or store it in large amounts, it must be consumed regularly to prevent deficiency, ideally through fresh fruits and vegetables. There are many signs of symptoms of deficiency, most of which we talked about and are related to impairments in collagen production or not consuming enough antioxidants. Some of the earliest signs of deficiency include fatigue, red gums, easy bruising and bleeding, joint pain, rough, bumpy skin, and as the deficiency progresses, bones may become brittle, nail and hair deformities can develop, wounds may take longer to heal, and the immune system suffers. Inflammation, iron deficiency, anemia, and unexplained weight gain may be other signs to watch for. Thankfully, deficiency symptoms are usually resolving once vitamin C levels are restored. So that's basically a summary of everything that I've just talked about in those 15 pointers, okay? So what are the different types of vitamin C, okay? So you've got ascorbic acid is the form of vitamin C found naturally in food. It has good bioavailability, but some people find it too acidic on their gut and can't tolerate higher doses. Okay, so ascorbic acid, again, is also what Tony was talking about in the chat. That's vitamin C powder, ascorbic acid, and I used to have that as well. I've changed now to sodium ascorbate, okay, which is the salted version, because I find, for me personally, it's easier on my stomach, and I believe that for me it works better. But everyone's different. Bioflavonoids. Excuse me a second. Bioflavonoids are beneficial plant compounds that are often added to vitamin C supplements. They deliver extra immune benefits and may help to increase bioavailability. Okay, mineral ascorbates such as calcium. I've tried that one. Magnesium ascorbate are often called buffered vitamin C. Many people find these to be gentler forms of vitamin C that are better tolerated by the gut. It's important, however, to consider accompanying dose of mineral, calcium, magnesium, etc. when taking higher levels. So yeah, I take sodium, because the one thing that's not mentioned here is you can get sodium ascorbate as well. Okay, time release vitamin C is often preferred choice since vitamin C has better bioavailability. So it's a slow release one into your body. The only thing now, but most slow release ones, I would say, are packed full of either sweeteners, okay, and or they've got um, um, other things that are not good for you that are mixed within the tablet. So I call them fillers, or they call them fillers. Okay, so again, it's about filling out the tablet, and sometimes it's about how they form the tablet. And I personally, I make my own ones. I've talked about this before. I make my own tablets. I've got a little tablet making machine, and I buy my own little shells, which are vegetarian shells, and I can make, I think it's 200 in approximately 1 hour, something like that. So it doesn't take that long. But again, I'm very much about an energy person, and therefore I feel if I'm making it myself, I've put my own energy. My body recognizes that energy. My soul recognizes that energy, and therefore when I take my own tablets, it's like, yeah, I know exactly what's in these. So it's honestly, the machine will cost you about 20 quid. It's a bit of fun. I think it's a little bit of fun, and it's not too messy. And once you get the hang of it, it's really, really easy to do. So time release vitamin C, often preferred since it has better bioavailability when taken in smaller doses throughout the day. A time release formula aims to solve the problem without taking multiple tablets by releasing the vitamin C slowly throughout the day. But again, like I said, you could just put it in your drinks bottle, put a bit of vitamin C in there, and just drink it throughout the day. Pure Whey C trademark is a unique and advanced form of vitamin C. Pure Whey C binds ascorbic acid to lipid metabolites, which allows ascorbic acid to enter cells more quickly. This results in enhanced digestion, cellular uptake, and retention, as well as utilization of vitamin C in the body. I mean, I don't know much about that product, but what I would say is that, again, I've talked about this when drinking water. If you put a bit of some decent salt under your tongue, okay, you're going to absorb it better into your body. You can do exactly the same thing with vitamin C. A little bit of salt under your tongue, and it's going to get into your cells better than anything. So another way, and this is what's getting quite trendy, and it has started to in the past few years, and some people have also used it in conjunction with helping them with their cancer treatment, is vitamin C intravenously. So why choose vitamin C therapy over oral supplements? Oral supplements rely on the digestive system to break them down before entering our blood stream, resulting in sometimes, I'll say, as little as 20% of the vitamins being taken or absorbed, whilst the rest passes through the body and is excreted. This process also relies on having a strong, healthy digestive system. I agree with that. If this is compromised in any way, this will also impact on the ability to absorb any nutrients. By supplementing via injection or intravenously, your body receives up to 100% of the vitamins directly into the blood. By investing in vitamin therapy, you can support your body with readily available vitamins. And I've given it so. For example, I know someone in the chat here has done a glutathione injection recently. But here, for example, you've got a glutathione intravenously and vitamin C. Look how many milligrams that is, 8,000 milligrams, and glutathione, 1,200 milligrams. Now, I'm not saying this is good, but I've read studies where they've done intravenous vitamin C up to 100,000 units, and it's had no effect on people. But again, I'm not a doctor, so please don't take my advice. Research it yourself. And yeah, cost of that, for example, I just quickly looked, and that was £150. So if you think it's good, then it's great, then, and you've got that sort of money, then go for it. It could be something. It's getting very popular now, intravenous vitamin therapy. But, again, it's not cheap, but it could be something that, tablets, about 120 vitamin C capsules on somewhere like Amazon will cost you about £12. And there's about 1,000 milligrams, something like that in them. So again, you've got to weigh it up really. So I've talked about Linus Pauling. At the beginning of the show in the chat, I've put a link to the Linus Pauling Institute. You can't talk about vitamin C without talking about Linus Pauling. He was the daddy of vitamin C. So Linus Pauling has won 2 undivided Nobel Prizes. He's the only guy that's ever won 2 Nobel Prizes. In 1954, he won the prize for chemistry, and 8 years later, he was also awarded the Peace Prize for his opposition to weapons of mass destruction. God bless him. The atom bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki were a turning point in Pauling's life. I don't personally believe in those types of bombs, but I think that was great that he used his what's the word? Something in life, the person who he was. But basically, anyway, what did Pauling discover about DNA? Linus Pauling is known as the father of molecular biology. In the 1950s, he discovered the spiral structure of proteins by using X-ray crystallography. Pauling's discovery of protein helical structure led to the discovery of the DNA's double helical structure, or helix structure, in 1953. And also now I'd just like to go on the difference between Dr. Linus Pauling's recommendation and the Linus Pauling Institute's recommendation for vitamin C intake now. So it says here, Dr. Pauling, whom the Linus Pauling Institute has great respect, based his own recommendation for vitamin C largely on theoretical arguments. In developing his recommendations, he used cross-species comparisons, evolutionary arguments, the concept of biomedical individuality, and the amount of vitamin C likely consumed in a raw plant food diet, which we know now has changed vastly since the 50s. Using his approach, Dr. Pauling suggested in the early 70s that the optimum daily intake may be about 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and that everyone should get at least 200 to 250 milligrams a day. In 1974 radio interview, he noted that the first 250 milligrams is more important than any later 250 milligrams. The first 250 milligrams leads you up to the level where your blood is saturated. And this is again where intravenous comes into it as well. You can achieve a higher volume concentration in the blood by a larger intake, but you get much better improvement for the first 250 milligrams than for additional grams. Pauling significantly increased his recommendation in his 1986 book, How to Live Longer and Feel Better. At the Linus Institute, we have based our vitamin C recommendation on the current body of scientific evidence, which is significantly greater than it was in Pauling's time, but remains incomplete owing to the many diverse functions of vitamin C in the human body that have yet to be fully understood. In this context, it is important to note that the data from the National Institute of Health, the NIH, which is the American Institute, have indicated that vitamin C levels in plasma and circulating cells become fully saturated at intakes of about 400 milligrams a day in young, healthy non-smokers. These observations are consistent with other data that intakes of about 400 milligrams a day are associated with reduced risk of heart disease. Whilst these NIH studies are the best we currently have regarding the pharmacokinetics of vitamin C in the human body, they have numerous limitations, including the fact that they are based on a small number of young, healthy men and women. We currently do not know how much vitamin C is required to achieve saturation of cells and tissues in children, older adults, and diseased or stressed individuals. A meta-analysis of 36 studies on the relationship between vitamin C intake and plasma concentrations found that the elderly require a substantially higher daily intake of vitamin C to attain plasma concentrations than younger adults achieve at lower intake. Additionally, work by Linus Pauling Institute investigators have shown that cellular uptake of vitamin C declines with age, supporting the notion that vitamin C requirements are increased in the elderly. And I've always thought this as well. As you get older, I think you actually need more vitamins in your body. Therefore, the Linus Pauling Institute intake recommendation of 400 milligrams a day of vitamin C for general healthy adults takes into account the currently available epidemiological, biomedical, biomedical, I'm sure they mean biomedical, and clinical evidence, whilst acknowledging the extremely low toxicity of vitamin C and the incomplete formation regarding optimum intake. It should also be noted that the Institute's recommendation is strictly directed towards prevention of disease in healthy individuals, not treatment of disease. Thus, individuals suffering from certain disease may require substantially larger amounts of vitamin C to achieve optimum body levels or derive therapeutic benefits. Areas that were of great interest to Linus Pauling and need to be further explored. All right. Then we're going to do some health news in a second. I'm sorry, that was a lot. I knew. I do recognise. That was. Oh my God! I didn't share that, did I? I don't think I shared that. Screen was cancelled. Make sure you share them. Oh well, never mind. Someone could have told me, but I've read it out anyway, and you saw me all reading it out. So there you go. I know there was a lot to take in there. I'm sorry about that, but vitamin C has got so much. I could go on and on about it, but I don't want to, because I mean we're already 112, 1 hour 12 minutes. There are just some other bits. Literally, I just want to, just before we finish it, some points here in my book that I've got here. This is called The Essential Guide to Vitamins and Minerals and Herbal Supplementation. I mean, it says here about that it can assist with helping you with your cancer, getting over cancer. It can help with macular degeneration, gallstones as well, with gout, asthma, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis. I mean, the list just goes on about what vitamin C is good for. That's why I can't say enough that you really need to try and get this vitamin inside you as much as possible. What's been happening in the chat, everyone? Let me have a quick look. I suppose Spanish might be telling some jokes. Let's have a look. Anything in here? Anyone got any questions? No. Well, no, I'm not going to show that comment, Mr. Wigan Joker. I'll tell you privately. All right. Yeah. Speak to one of my partners. There you go. Marion. Hi, Rob. That's my sister, Mama. She's better late than never, Marion. Thanks for turning up. Let's have a look. Yeah. I deleted that. It's a busy night for the moderators tonight. Is it? Is it a busy night? Are you getting comments that need moderating, Chris? Are all the moderators having fun moderating each other? There's probably more moderators than there are people in the chat actually, or watching the show at the moment. Let's have a look. Anything said here? Yeah, Kendo. Yeah, mine's an adjustable spanner. Yeah, Kendo's got a spanner, and Spanish I think Spanish has got a spanner as well. Let's have a look. Let's have a look down here. Any questions on what I've just said? Anyone got any questions? I hope I've answered your questions, Tony, with everything. Anyone? Would anyone try vitamin C intravenously? I would. I think I'm going to give it a go. 150 quid though, locally. I'm sure if I look around, I can get it cheaper. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a go. I just fancy trying it. You know, why not? Mama says it's best taken in the morning. Yeah, I would say so. Or again, it depends, Marion, how you take it. Whether you take it as a slow release capsule or whether you've got it in a drink, your bottle, and then you sip it throughout the day. Yeah, well done, sir. I stopped smoking about 3 months ago. Well done. Good on you. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, Dinny was a welder and his eyes are fucked. Dinny, you really need to get some vitamin C into your body. And also take what I take. Yeah. Let me show you again. I've shown this before, but let me remind you. Because you need to protect your eyes. Get some ultra bilberry and lutein and zeaxanthin. There we go. I'm not advertising for Vitabiotics, but that's the one that I take. Okay, this has got it contains 10 milligrams of lutein, which really feeds the retina, and 2 milligrams of zeaxanthin and 500 milligrams of bilberry from a concentrated extract. Dark berries are great for your eyes as well, but yeah, you should be taking one of those. My sister takes these. I know she does. I know she won't mind me saying, because they are good for your eyes. Not again, I take them because I had an eye problem many years ago, and so therefore I take them every day, or I try to. But it's not, is it? It's not easy taking supplements, is it? You know, it really isn't easy taking supplements. You have to constantly remind yourself or set an alarm on your phone, you know, and it's best to take them with food. It really is. But yeah, even I forget to take them sometimes. You might be able to get a vitamin C spray. I mean, I take a vitamin B12 spray now, and I take a vitamin D spray. So you might be able to get a vitamin C spray if you look as well. Brain cells in the painter, which one was for this idea? Okay, let me just make a note of where we are in the chat there. Okay. I like that Spanish. We'll save that joke. I'm going to say that joke in a second. You can't mod a mod. That's true. Chris says, squeeze orange juice into your veins. That's a cheap way. That's a cheap way of doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Kendo, goji berries are stacked or even packed full of vitamin C. Yeah, get the organic ones if you can. Let's have a look. I'm growing goji berries in my garden, says Kitty. Excellent. Yeah, Dinny's got his eyes fucked because he was flashed too many times. Okay, right. So we're up to date, and we're 1 hour 20 minutes into the show. So I'm just going to go back to we're going to do some health stories that are in the news at the moment. Not too many. So bear with me. I'm going to try sharing my screen again. I think it should share this time. Okay, so Windows, Chrome tab, there we go. So yeah, that one, share. Okay, so some health news then. A cure for beer belly. The green Mediterranean diet burns dangerous visceral fat 4 times faster than just eating healthy, study finds. Diets to cut visceral fat. Okay, now to me, you know how they're trying to get us all over eating the bugs and stuff like that, and not eating much meat. To me, this is like one of those ploys. But you know, this is what they're saying anyway. So you've got like it's saying you can get rid of more fat by eating a green Mediterranean diet. People who follow the green Mediterranean diet burn a dangerous type of body fat at quadruple the rate of most dieters, a large study has found. People who followed the mostly plant-based diet for 18 months saw their visceral fat levels shrink by 14% compared to just 4.5% in a control group who ate a standard healthy diet. Visceral fat wraps around vital organs and inside the abdomen, typically giving someone a beer belly or apple body shape. This type is the most dangerous because it's thought to release chemicals and hormones into the blood that trigger inflammation linked to chronic diseases like heart disease and fatty liver disease. Its close proximity to organs raises the risk. The Mediterranean diet, high in fats and proteins but low in carbohydrates, has become extremely popular in recent years, with a wealth of studies touting its benefits for longevity, reducing frailty and warding off cancer. The green Mediterranean diet still contains plenty of beans, legumes, whole grains, leafy greens, olive oils, nuts and fish, but swaps out red meat, what a surprise, and poultry for 3 to 4 cups of green tea and a duckweed shake every day. Duckweed shake. That sounds delicious. Always waking up feeling groggy? Use this 3-step formula devised by top sleep scientists, and it's not just about going to bed early. Okay, so here we are. 1, do strenuous workout. 2, sleep for 7 to 9 hours and have a lie-in, unless you're working. And 3, eat a high carb and low sugar breakfast. So there we go. We've got contradicting opinions there. Sleep scientists in the University of Berkeley, California, have discovered that what you eat for breakfast and how much you sleep and exercise could determine whether you wake up feeling groggy and sluggish or not. The 3-step process, created by some of the world's top sleep researchers, entails having a strenuous workout, sleeping longer and later, and eating a high-carb breakfast. Getting 7 to 9 hours is ideal for avoiding grogginess the next day, but even just a little bit longer could help. The team claimed a lie-in also helps to fight off weak feelings of tiredness, according to senior study author and professor of neuroscience and psychology, Matthew Walker. Britain didn't need boosters, says top Divuk Tsar, and I am not saying that word, but I'm sure you all know what I mean. Divuk Tsar, Sir John Bell, as he claims top up doses only prevent infections for up to 70 days. Oxford University Sir John Bell, who served as Boris Johnson's testing czar, said he's not entirely sure that the UK needed top-up jabs. So there you go. Elon Musk Neuralink has been mutilating and killing monkeys. Oh, what a surprise. Physician group details how the firm performed gruesome experiments on animals ahead of the billionaire's show and tell on November 30th. So that's already happened. A report claiming Elon Musk Neuralink has been mutilating and killing monkeys during experiments has been shared ahead of the firm's show and tell event on November the 30th. So there you go. he can stick his Neuralink right where it hurts. Prepare for big shortages of free-range turkeys this Christmas. Half have already died due to the UK's ever bird flu outbreak, farmers warn. And I'll remind everyone that the reason, did you know that how they test for these bird flu? They use the same tests that they've been using on humans. Yeah. The one that I think is a load of crap. So is there really bird flu, or is it again more a case of pushing us towards eatsy bugs? Who knows? Around half of the UK's free-range Christmas turkeys have died due to avian flu already this year, leaving a big shortage on the shelves, one of the nation's top suppliers warned. Britain is currently being ravaged by its biggest ever bird flu outbreak, with health chiefs culling nearly 4 million birds in a year and ordering the lockdown of all kept birds in a bid to stall the spread. Paul Kelly, a poultry farmer at Kelly Turkeys in Essex, said that major supermarkets would see the biggest effect, but he noted that some local butchers could have none at all. This also brings me on to that whole story of eggs being short at the moment. That, I believe, is a bit of a conspiracy because I saw a video of a farmer, and if you follow the Black Belt Barrister, he's behind this as well. A farmer has said there's not a shortage of eggs. It's the fact that the big supermarkets don't want to pay the extra charges for the feeds that we are now having to pass on to them, and they don't want it. So therefore, they're trying to say that it's all due to this crisis to do with bird flu. So there we are, a little bit of extra story on top of that one for you. Ambulance staff to stage first strike in 30 years. The 999 workers to join nurses with pre-Christmas walkouts over pay. Among those supporting a mass walkout were 999 call staff, ambulance technicians and paramedics served in the northeast, northwest, southwest, Yorkshire and London. It's like going back to the 70s, isn't it? I'm old enough to remember the strikes in the 70s, high inflation and blackouts. Will pre-Christmas nursing strikes happen at your hospital? List reveals where 100,000 NHS medics will walk out on December 15th and 20th. So if you want to look that up, go to the Daily Snail. And the walkouts are on December 15th and 20th. Thank goodness my mum's got her cataract operation on December the 13th. The Royal College of Nursing today revealed its members will only strike at half of the sites in England that have secured a mandate for industrial action. No, you can't. I don't know. You can't blame people. With everything going up, and a record number of babies being born from donated sperm rate has tripled in the past 15 years amid surge of single mothers and lesbian couples wanting families. In 2006, there were less than 900 babies born in the UK from sperm donors, but this rose to more than 2,800 babies in 2016, according to the latest figures from the fertility regulator. I love this story. This is a great one. The centenarian who can walk the walk, a 100-year-old woman who doesn't take any medication or follow a strict diet, says her secret to staying young is getting 10,000 steps a day as she stuns locals after completing a 5K road race. Look at her. God bless her. God bless her. Well done to you, my love. Excellent. Mick Roberts, 100, stunned fellow runners at a Connecticut foot race in September when she completed her second consecutive 5K in roughly 90 minutes. Reaching the finish line was not hard for the centenarian. Miss Roberts stays healthy by walking up to 3 miles a day each day, but does not diet or take medication. She's a very wise lady. She really is. Number of C-sections being carried out hits decade high, NHS figures reveal. C-sections have reached their highest level in England in a decade in the wake of a crackdown of natural, normal births following maternity care scandals and a rise in older women giving birth. I would also say it's also people being frightened into not having natural births as well by the NHS system as well. That's just my opinion, but there you go. And I'm going to leave it at that before I put my big mouth into it. How NHS spends millions on treating patients abroad. Taxpayer forks out for women to give birth, hip and knee ops and tooth extractions in Bulgaria, Belgium and beyond. Okay, so the taxpayer has spent over 4 million sending more than 5,000 Britons to Europe for planned care, the vast majority being for expectant mother to give birth in an EU or European Economic Area country. Data obtained by Mail Online shows more than 4 million was spent on the NHS-funded surgery overseas over the last 3 years. Some of this, campaigners believe, will likely be to dodge months-long queues for care, with the backlog sitting at an all-time high. Save the NHS! Others are opting to give birth closer to European family or in their country of preference. Locations where NHS-funded procedures has taken place since 2019 include Belgium, Bulgaria, Poland, France and Spain. The NHS funds patients to get treated abroad through an EU-backed programme. Despite Britain no longer being in the bloc, in total 5,294 patients from across Britain have received planned taxpayer-funded treatment in Europe since 2019. Most of the applications, almost 4,700, were for maternity care, specifically to give birth overseas. The majority of other procedures were not named, although it's not known that it is known that hip and knee surgeries are among the number. However, 2 were for bone replacements, 7 for cancer treatments such as chemotherapy and radiotherapy, 3 for heart conditions, and 7 listed as general surgery. To be eligible for S2 funding, applicants must be a UK resident. The treatment must normally be available on the NHS, and a British or European clinician must state why the treatment is needed within a certain time period. So there you go. You can apply for that if you want. Cost of living crisis, effects of DIVC lockdowns have left a quarter of teenagers battling mental health disorders, NHS figures suggest. Around 1 in 5 children under 16 is also likely to be suffering, according to the Mental Health of Children and Young People in England 2022 report states. So what a surprise there. No surprise at all. NHS sets aside, and this is following on from that story, NHS sets aside 1.3 billion to pay DIVC compensation payouts, but campaigners fear some may not be enough. NHS Resolution, the organisation which handles disputes on behalf of the health service, anticipates a surge in claims for treatment delays and cancellations and misdiagnosis over the lockdown period. Why you shouldn't sprinkle extra salt onto your dinner. Giving up simple habit might slash your risk of heart disease by up to a fifth, study finds. Shaking less salt in your food could cut the risk of heart disease, according to scientists. Excluding the salt added during cooking, the study tracked how much salt Britons added to their food. I'll say again that salt is not bad for you if you've got good salt. Okay, avoid table salt. Table salt is rubbish. Okay, but Celtic salt, Himalayan salt is good for you, and you should salt your food to your taste. Okay, if you've got a problem with blood pressure, it could actually also be a fact of a lack of salt, good salt in your diet. But I'm not a doctor. I'm Robert. I'm not a Dr. Robert. So please consult someone who's fully qualified, and that's just my opinion. Okay, so I also just want to talk about where is it? This, I think I've got it here. Okay, so this is from the WashingtonTimes.com. more jabbed people died from Divuk than unjabbed people in August. So this was quite astonishing because it's now going out in the public. And this was from November 23. People who were jabbed against Divuk died in larger number than those who were not jabbed against the virus for the first time since the pandemic's onset in the US, according to a new report. The news comes nearly 15 months after Biden declared Divuk to be a pandemic of the unjabbed. He announced a de facto mandate in that same speech by attempting to rewrite regulations that apply to large companies. But the Supreme Court ultimately struck down Biden's administration attempted mandate, but they kept it in place for people who work in the medical fields. I'm just going to go down to here. It says here that jabbed people made up 23% of Divuk deaths in September 21, and by February of this year, that number had jumped to 42%. Okay, so there you go. There's that story. And I also want to talk about this. This has been talked about in Raconteur's news chat as well. And I had this ready. Canada's harrowing euthanasia experiment should be a warning to the world. Parliament is now calmly discussing whether disabled children could be euthanized by doctors, in other words, infanticide. It goes on to say the representative of the medical regulator spoke in a straightforward, unemotional voice as though his statements were self-evidently true. Sick children between the ages of 14 and 17, he told the parliamentary committee, should be allowed to choose to commit suicide with medical assistance. I can't believe I'm reading this and this is actually happening. And these people are just sick, in my opinion. Parents of babies who are born with severe disabilities should be allowed to kill them. Elderly people for whom life no longer makes any sense should also be able to end theirs, and so should the mentally ill, and so on and on. Members of the committee ask some follow-up questions, but no one pushes back. Ever since it burst into the public consciousness almost a year ago, details of Canada's assisted suicide scheme, known as MAID, medically assistance in dying, MAID, that's just sick, have shocked and astonished people around the world in equal measure. Harrowing tales of disabled poor people choosing to end their lives because they could not survive on paltry benefits have since proliferated, as have horror stories of doctors and bureaucrats trying to pressure patients into ending their lives. Yet the parliamentary committee charged with reviewing the regime seemed to take for granted that access to euthanasia should be expanded to include even more people. The only remaining question will be by how much. Let me see, how much more is there outside? There's not much more. Fast forward a few years, and the Canadian Parliament is now calmly discussing whether disabled children could be euthanized by doctors. In other words, infanticide, nor will euthanasia be limited to physical illness. From next year, mental illness will become a qualifying condition. Already depressed teenagers on social media are speaking about applying to die once they turn 18. Now, this is terrible. It might be comforting to dismiss the Canadian experience as an aberration and Canada as an alien country inhabited by a barbarous people. But Canada is a country with a culture much like of the UK, with an overextended healthcare system, a social care system that is perpetually near collapse, a strained exchequer, and an aging population. The perverse incentives which led to Canada's predicament, in other words, are all present in the UK as well, as in the same heightened culture of human rights discourse, whether any rights-based claim is given automatic deference, and which has made opposition to euthanasia so politically toxic in Canada. No politician, after all, wants to be seen as taking away rights from people. Indeed, the cultural centrality of the National Health Service may take the UK an even more fertile ground for abuse. Protect the NHS was a powerful, unifying message during Divok, but it's not difficult to see how a society in which such a slogan kept people from receiving cancer treatment might also be a fertile ground for euthanasia-related abuse. I'm with that. And one only needs to remember that the Liverpool Care Pathway scandal, when elderly patients were deemed denied basic medical care and even food and water without their consent, to see how catastrophic systematic failure may easily happen once again, shorten many lives. The Scottish Parliament will shortly be debating a bill to legalise euthanasia. Its proponents will make the same usual arguments about choice and autonomy, trot out heart-rending cases, and talk about the ironclad safeguards within their proposed system. Whilst our sympathies will be with those at the end of their lives suffering from great pain, the Canadian experience should serve as a warning to anyone who thinks euthanasia will be confined to those cases. After all, the idea that the murder of disabled children could become legal was once far-fetched in Canada too. I just think this is just absolutely atrocious. I really do. I can't believe that we're even talking about such a thing. It's just, I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen them. They've got these euthanasia pods now. They're like, if anyone's old enough to remember, they're like the Clive Sinclair C5 little things that people used to ride around in the 80s, a Sinclair 5. It was, let's see if I can find one. Let me just have a look. We see pods. Let's have a look. Here it is. Let's share my screen with you. There it is. Look at that fucking thing. Doesn't that look a smart machine to get gassed in, eh? Look at that, eh? Oh, they're great. Everyone having a good look at them. Look here. Oh, let's get in one and see what it's like for the future. This looks fun, doesn't it? Why not? Dr. Death. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a nice orange one. We can assist your suicide in many ways, you know. We really can. Don't you worry about it. We'll make your death nice and comfortable. We really will. This is just absolutely terrible. It really is terrible. What sort of world are we living in 2022? So no conspiracy that they're trying to lower the population. Nah, none at all. None at all. Birth rates in Hungary have gone down by 20%, by the way. There's some terrible things going on that, you know, we're not allowed to talk about on YouTube. Check out the alternative platforms. Maybe I'll be doing one day. But it's not good. It really isn't good. It's so sad. It really is sad. So yes, Marion, oh my God. The definition of a smart machine. So true. Absolutely. Listening in the background, this suicide thing is awful. Teens and young adults don't even know themselves, let alone what they want. Yeah, but the thing is, Miss Blue Sky, we can also assist them to be transgender. can't we? You know. So let's just have a look what's going on in the chat, and then we're going to do some jokes, and then say au revoir, tutty bye, etc. There we go. People will seriously lose their shit if they try and start another scamdemic. China have proven outright that it's a scam now by locking everyone down whilst everyone else is at the World Cup. Yep. Dinny says cancer rate and heart rates are the biggest in the world. Fact. Yeah. And a very apt comment here by Spanish. Plenty of time for your TikTok dance routines, though. Absolutely. It's so true. It's so true. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. And Kendo says he's left a link in Telegram. Let's have a look. Raconteurs News. Here we go. Yeah, that's right. You have done. Yeah. Canada ad shows battle against. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did see that actually, Ken. I did see that. Tony. Yeah, I'm going to link that, Tony. Thank you very much. Copy link. This is about LED lights track people and broadcast messages. So I'm going to put this in the chat here. So let's just post that down here. If you're interested in reading this article, thank you, Tony, for posting that. I think you could have posted that, Tony, as well, because you're a moderator, aren't you? Maybe not. No, it's just God bless. Love you lots. You're going to miss my great jokes, but you can come back for them later or another time. Now, I did highlight Spanish's joke up here somewhere, but there's been a lot of chat since. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Here we go. So here's Spanish's joke. I'm sure, I mean, everyone in the chat would have seen it, but people watching back may not see it, so I'll do it here. We've got a guy called Two Stroke that works for me. Someone said, why is he called that? I said, it's hard getting him started and he smokes all day. Should we do some jokes? Right, let's do some jokes. Let's end with a bit of laughter rather than talking about suicide. Let's share screen. Okay, let's have a look then. Chrome tab, window. There, that's the one I want to share. Okay, so let's have a look down here. I think it's down here. Health jokes. Here we go then. Ready? My aunt's star sign was Cancer. Pretty ironic how she died. She was eaten by a giant crab. Alzheimer's can't be that bad. You get to meet new people every day. My bed wasn't feeling well this morning, so I had to stay home to take care of it. Working at a hospital is the worst. It's worse because you can't call in sick. You go, yeah, I can't come in today. I'm sick. And the boss says, come on in. We'll check you out. Where do sick boats go to get healthy? To the dock. I got a job in a health club, but they said I wasn't fit for the job. I can't believe I forgot to go to the gym today. That's 7 years in a row now. And there we go. I just want to leave you with this meme. What I can control and what I can't. Okay, and look at this. See, there we go. So out of my control, the past, the future, the actions, what happens around me, what other people think of me, the actions of others, the outcome of my efforts, how others take care of themselves, the opinions of others. Okay. In my control are my boundaries, my thoughts and actions, the goals I set, what I give my energy to, how I speak to myself, and how I handle challenges. And I will leave you all with that, everyone. So I'm going to stop sharing that now. So stay positive, everyone. We've done 1 hour 51. Thanks for everyone for joining me tonight. I don't know if people want to do an after chat. I personally, if people want to go into an after chat, let me know in the chat quickly before I go, and I will put the link up for anyone who wants to jump in it and have a chat. I won't stay long myself, so whoever's going to be in there, you know, you can chat amongst yourselves. I can leave you in there. Let me know. Do you want an after chat or not? Just say so in the chat, please, folks. Again, I'll just at this moment say thanks to everyone who's watched tonight. Please join me on Raconteurs News on Tuesday, where I'll be interviewing the legend that is. Hello, I'm Clive de Carl. Hello. Who should have been an actor. Yeah, after chat, Dinny says. Yeah. Cheers, Chris. Thank you very much. Thanks, Robert. Nice one. Chat. Yeah. Anyone else want an after chat? Oh, I'll just put the link in and see who comes. Okay. So I'm going to put the invite. Let's copy that then. Copied. And we'll put that just in here. We'll paste that in there. Okay. There we go. So the link is in there. Spanish is early doors for me, so he's probably not going to be joining us. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stay in the chat for long. We'll see who pops up. But again, thank you for everyone who's watched the show. I hope you take your vitamins, but more importantly, I hope you get some exercise. You get lots of fluids in you, not just the alcoholic types. Try and smoke less. Try and think less negative thoughts. Try and be a bit more positive in your life, and try and be happy as you possibly can be. And surround yourself with lovely, positive, happy people as much as you can. You know, it's not easy. And yeah, just try and smile at someone in the street when you're walking down. You know, you might be the only person that ever smiles at that person in one day. And it can make a big difference. You see, they'll smile back at you. All right. So take care, everyone. And I will. Oh, JJ. Nice to see you, JJ. Welcome aboard. And again, thanks to everyone who's watched the after show or watched the show after it's finished. And if you're joining me in the after chat, please come in now. There's no one here at the moment, but I'll stay here for 5 minutes and see what happens. My son says, smoke more, worry less. But Matt, we know what you smoke. Okay. Yeah, so we know why you don't worry as much. Nice one, JJ. See you again. And again, thanks to everyone who's watched the show tonight. Take care. I'm going to end the broadcast now, and I'll see you soon. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.